I needed to fight the opponent. The power that moved every mountain. Protect me when evil surround me. I know it's a power living in me. People don't see it, but it's all around me. They told me it's over, I'm finished. But God said just wait and bear witness. He spent the red ties with the dead rise, just like a peddler's business. They told me confess and believe. I got so much dirt on my knees. Cause I've been talking to the Lord all day, telling him all of my needs. I need mercy, need grace. Need strength, I need faith. Need power cause the world's dark, having trouble seeing your face.
Welcome to Life Talk 21, the show designed to motivate you, to inspire you, and to give you strategies to help you live in the 21st century. And not just live, but I want you to be successful. And I'm your host, Eric Wortham. And it's by your power. I know he will make a way. Today, I want to talk to you real briefly about change is possible, but it requires some work, some hard work. Change is possible, but it requires some hard work. Because I hear people say all the time that they want to change. They want to be better, and that's the right direction. You always should want to be better. And sometimes that requires for us to change, make some changes in our life. And to be honest with you, the reason change is so difficult is because in the case of many, we believe, or we've been the same people we've been for a long time. And we become comfortable with that person. We become comfortable with how we are doing things. And we become comfortable with that level of person that's already set in. In reality, the change is necessary, though, for us to fulfill those goals of reaching anywhere near our full potential. We have to change. You know, we can't continue to be explosive on everything and still think we can get there. We can't continue to make really poor choices and continue to get there. So change is definitely possible, but it takes a little work. And so I want to just give you these three things that you can do. I promise you, if you start here, these three things is what you can do to help you change. And I talked about this before, but I'll keep referring back to things that I think are important. And it comes from, working the how, H-O-W. Working the how, H-O-W. The H stands for being honest. The O means to be open. And the W means to be willing. So it comes from that because I believe those are important tenets of being able to change. And that's what we want to do. We want to become change agents ourselves. We want to help people reach their full potential. Believe it or not, that's what I live for, to help people see better, do better, and to try to reach their full potential. That's what motivates me. So I want to talk about three things. Number one, you must be honest with yourself. If you are going to change, you have to be totally honest with yourself. The way you are is not working for you. It's not. You have to be honest. And that tends to be the hardest things that individuals have to do, is to look at themselves in an honest way. Because there may be things that that are preventing you from being what you want to be. Okay, you can't keep, you can't keep just losing money the way you're losing it. You can't keep exploding over small things. You can't keep taking risks that can lead to big problems in your life. You can't keep doing those things. And so you have to be honest with yourself. You have to realize that what you're doing is not working for you. Again, a lot of times that causes us to experience some of our vulnerabilities, but vulnerabilities are okay. We all have them. But you can overcome those things, because the more you change, the more you learn, the better you get, the more confidence you have in yourself. You really do. You have more confidence in yourself. So being honest with yourself is that number one thing. You have to dig deep, look within yourself, and see that what you're doing now is not working. It's not working. So you have to be willing. You have to see that you need change. That's number one. Number two, you must be open to new information that makes sense. Be open to new information. See, some people are closed. When we talk about closed people are people that, they grew up a certain way. They have accepted a certain person, a certain philosophy in life, and there's nothing that can change that. Even if it's not effective, nothing can change. That's why the last 3 weeks I've been doing traditionalism is a very powerful thing, because it is. Some people, the tradition is so strong within them, the truth can slap them in the face and they still will hold to those traditions. So you got to be open to new information that makes sense. Some traditional things, that we hold and cling to don't have proven data to suggest that it's going to work. And so we need proven data. And that's the one thing I like about, what the school system started saying years ago, is we want to use proven data-driven information. We want to use information that we know have been researched, and we know what's the best way. Now, the school, they don't always do that, because they're susceptible to, salespeople. The good salespeople come and sell new program, and so the school has teachers learning whole new program just about every year. I can't forget that, man. We had to learn whole new programs and implement them, in 2 months. And so a lot of times the teachers are one day ahead of the students, because they're just learning the program too, and they got to implement it. So, you got to be open to new information. And just because you grew up with a philosophy that says an eye for an eye doesn't mean that there's evidence to support that philosophy being successful. And that's what we want to be. We want to be successful. Okay, you can do a lot of things, but a lot of things are not going to help you be successful. So you have to be open to new information, and that's what we have. A lot of people are on these strict ends, left and right, all the way left, all the way right, and you just don't want to let go of the traditions. But there's always middle ground. There's always middle ground, and that's where we need to try to achieve that middle ground. And I think a lot of people have stopped doing it. But you got to be open. And then the last thing is you must be willing to try researched and proven method. So that means you got to do some work. Even parents, you have to work at being parent. There are good books out that help you to be a good parent, because guess what people do? There are people that spend their life doing research to see what methods tend to be more successful than other methods. And there are books out. I know one, that for parenting style. These books are good, but you have to be a person that's willing to study. You got to be a person that's willing to try things that have been tested and proven in order for you to get better. Being disciplined for the breakthrough is basically what it is. You got to be disciplined. And discipline, this is what I used to teach my team. Because what a coach is doing is we're trying to change students for the better, our players. We're trying to teach them good habits, that are more successful on the basketball court or on the football field or baseball field. We're trying to teach them good habits. Now, they think they have good habits, but they don't. And so it is our job to practice every day to help them to learn the good habits. And that's how you're going to change, man. You're going to have to practice doing things the right way, or the way that is proven to be more successful. You're going to have to practice that every day. You're going to have to look for opportunities to practice change. Like if you're a person that's confrontational all the time, you have to practice not being confrontational. You're going to have opportunities to practice, but you have to practice. You got to wake up and say, God, help me to take advantage of the opportunities that you give me to learn how not to be so confrontational. Because there's a time for it, but there's a time that we don't need it. It's balance. And so being disciplined, and you've all heard this, the recipe for disaster is to keep doing the same thing the same way, expecting different results. It's not going to happen, people. You have to change who you are, and you can. Addictions cannot hold you back. Trust me, millions of people have overcome addictions. I have. And learn how to be balanced. They learn how to take this life in total and understand that the Creator made life to be balanced. And so that's where we need to be as well. And so those are three things. That's where you got to start, man. You got to start with, being honest with yourself. You got to make sure that you're open, to new information that makes sense. And you got to make sure that you're willing to try those things. And that's where a lot of people are. They're not willing to try the things that we know are proven to work. Okay? So, change is hard, but you can make it happen. It takes a lot of work. I'm Eric Wortham. Remember, be all you can be by doing all you can do. Yeah!